So, I had an anxiety attack this morning, and I wanted to talk with you about things I was remembering that helped me get through the anxiety attack, just in case it might help you get through the anxiety attack. So, something I was thinking about. So when I woke up, first off, I had a nightmare that had left me reminding myself of times when I didn't trust myself. In my dream, I had fallen in love, or not fallen in love, but become interested in a person, or attracted to a person that turned out to have a significant other or something, and I used to be somebody who really trusted my instincts, and my instincts had failed to tell me not to be connected to that person. Yeah, I did. I still trust, even after I found out, I still trusted this person in my dream. But what it reminded me was times in my past, in my childhood, or in my, not childhood, later years, where I felt betrayed by my own sense of or questioned my own ability to trust my instincts. Or like after your father left and had betrayed us, I was feeling that confusion and the sense of confusion in myself. Oh, let's pause a moment. Yeah, if there's food in your fridge, go ahead and eat that. Any food in your fridge is specifically for you. Yeah, it's all you. Here, I'll get a picture of you. That's Grandma saying hi. She's wanting to know if the food in her fridge is hers. Yeah. Wave hi to the camera, Mama. Wave hi to the camera. Hi. Yeah. Okay. I love you. Yeah, the food for you is in the fridge. Is yours. Okay. We love you. Yes, I know, Mama. Go eat your food. So, Mama has a little bit of forget sometimes what the world is like, and we have to remind her. And yes, there's anxieties about that popping up. Also, anxiety, became overwhelmed with anxiety. Is the world out to help us? Wait, what? Hold on. What? Yeah, it's okay. It's by her table, but don't worry about it. Eagle and I will feed her. As always, can't remember what I was talking about after I was talking about right, having an anxiety attack. And then getting myself back on. Apologize, world, while I get myself back on track. Anxiety, when you're feeling massive anxiety, learning how to self-soothe. So when you're feeling of confusion, learning to feel safe with the feeling of confusion. Generally what happens when you feel confused by life, there's a sensation of anxiety or a sensation of panic, of why isn't the world working the way you thought it should work, or you trusted it would work, or when the world just you go along life thinking that the world is a certain way, and then something, bam, happens that throws off your world order. It can be something small, that the cat didn't do what you thought it should do, or did do what you think it should do, but you didn't want it to do, or the idea of people not doing what you thought they should do, the world order just not being, or like when COVID happened and everybody's trudging along and all of a sudden the world changes, the pandemic, and or when people used to go through wars. I just was watching a show on wars, and all of a sudden your world gets turned upside down, and you learn to cope with it. And over the years, you learn to cope with the world not working the way it's supposed to. But anxiety and panic comes when you don't really all have the tools to handle the confusion, the scariness of the world not working the way you think it should work. We should get a bunch of lights. And I actually, what I wanted it closer was so it picks up our voices better. What was I going to say? I love you. Babies. So I was thinking about when you were a little baby. When we were little babies, we don't know how the world works. We come out of the womb, and our world order, we've been in the womb this whole time, and it's protected and it's safe, and we come out into this really scary world that's no longer warm and gooey. It's cold usually, and even if it's not, it's hot, or it's just not the same as when it was in the womb, and it's not comforting, and it's scary, and it's bright usually, unless you were born at night in the field or something, I don't know, but it's just not, it's not the same as in the womb. And it's confusing, it's scary. But usually, most people were born where there's people comforting them. Maybe it's not their mom right away, maybe it's the doctor or the nurse that is cuddling them, wrapping them in blankets, trying to provide warmth, safe, soothing voices. Or if they're out in their field, or they're out, it's just themselves in the mandula, or just the mother catches them and puts them next to their heartbeat. They say that, I don't know if the story is true, but that if a baby is born to a dead mother, the baby still instinctively crawls their way up to the heart of the remaining heat of the mother or something, or will drink the breast milk or something. I don't know if that's true. Probably just some old wives' tale I heard. But the instinctiveness to go to the mother for comfort in this scary world. But what about when our kitty cat's calling? I want to finish the story first. What about the times when the mother doesn't come here, especially because originally in the normal world, in the natural world, the baby stays next to the mother and is always next to the mother. Like in the days of primates, if you believe in evolution, the baby stays attached, literally attached to the mother. And then as the hair disappeared, then we started carrying our babies around, carried contraptions that we would put the baby on our back. And it wasn't until modern day society or not modern day, but as humans evolved, that they started putting babies in a different casket next to the mother instead of having the baby sleep next to the mother. By the way, is an unnatural thing. Natural is when baby sleeps next to the mother. So co-sleeping is much more natural in the evolution of things. But, what if you grew up in a world where the mother was taught to keep the baby separate, and society, her culture, her society had taught her to separate the mother from the baby. And there's a moment where you're in your crib and you're crying and the mother doesn't come. Or even later, as let's say you did grow up with the mother, and for some reason the mother is not available, is attending to 5 other kids or the dinner or whatever. And for some reason the mother doesn't come. And so those times the baby starts to learn to self-soothe, or even when the mother is around, it's being taught how to self-soothe. When the mother's soothing them, the child knows, it has a memory of this being soothed. And so it at some point, theoretically, you learn to self-soothe, either with the memory of the mother soothing you, or just because the mother doesn't come and you learn to soothe yourself, or so many people learn as they're growing up that concept. But there's still times where the world feels out of sorts and anxiety hits or panic hits, and it's confusing and it's scary, and your confusion is scary. And where I was going with this is that, so I was laying there and the panic and anxiety was hitting this morning. Just remembering times in my past where I didn't trust myself, or just life being scary. Like, are we going to have enough money to save our home? Are we going to have enough money to do the things we want to do? We're going to figure out how to raise money. Am I going to figure out how to have the confidence to help other people through their problems and their coaching them? Are people going to want to pay me the money to help them learn and go through body listening? Or are there people going to pay us money to help them teach about their garden? Are we going to be able to fundraise enough to accomplish the goal? So for anybody who doesn't know our story, we're trying to save our home, and we're trying to, more importantly, we're trying to buy back our home, so that we're no longer at the mercy of other people. Because as long as it's being owned by someone else, we could lose our home, and it's a home we've had for 50 plus years, and my ex got it's a long story, but he ended up selling it to somebody else, and now we have to deal with the people that own the home. If you are at all willing to help us, that would be great, amazing. I'll put those 2 cents in. And even if we've already, by the time you watch this video, if we've already saved the home, we're trying to help other people be able to save their home as well. So it's going to be not just saving our home, but us, once we've saved our home, helping other people save their home. But anyways, all these ideas, are we going to be able to do them? Is it going to happen in time? Will it all work out the way we want it to? And we're not sure, and do we have the confidence? It's just all the craziness, the fear, the anxiety coming through. And I was paralyzed, and I don't know if you've experienced anxiety or depression before, but sometimes the blood leaves your fingers and your legs, and so you get pins and needles in there, because the instinct is when you're panicked or anxious, where it curls in, you curl in and ball in yourself. And I was remembering, okay, being a baby, you can cry out for help, but what if nobody comes? So the idea of self-soothing, having faith. Now, a lot of people, as you get older, you realize your mom can't always come to you. Oh, and I was just thinking also, one of the things I was thinking that as a teenager, so as a baby, you go through the experience of scariness, and you need the mother to come and soothe you. But what if the mother doesn't? You have to learn to soothe yourself, and you learn a world order. And then as a teenager, one of the processes of going through a teenagehood, you realize the world wasn't as you thought it should be. And you went through all the struggles of why isn't the world the way it is, and you've had to learn coping skills and soothing skills. But even then, you don't always learn all the tricks into. You still have moments of panic, and you still have moments of fear, and just learning to calm yourself. And for those people who are born into a world of family of religion, you're a little bit luckier, because then you have that world where you go, okay, I'm going to have faith in God, I'm going to have faith in the higher source, the higher belief system. If you grow up in a spiritual world, you have that to fall back on, of comforting you, of going, okay, I have God, I have Jesus, I have, if you're not into religion and you're just a spiritual and the higher self, sorry, I repeat myself a lot, but there's that faith that you can lean into and relax into. So what if you don't have that? What if you don't have that? Then what you have is yourself, your own ability to love. What if you're having struggle loving anything because you're so depressed, you're so not connected to your love? And so I was telling myself, okay, well, because often a lot of these, about self-help, but these millionaire people who are selling their packages are like, okay, just believe. Like there's this, I was listening to a Tony Robbins thing recently, and they're very much into the belief system of the universe is working for you. But what if your brain is telling you, well, it's not working for me in the world order that I wanted. This isn't the world order I wanted, that I wanted it to be different. This isn't working out the way I wanted it to be. Or how do I know it's going to work out in the way I want it to be? Because I have faith in life, and you think about life, and it's like, well, in life, bugs get eaten, animals get eaten, life gets eaten, the nature of things die, and that it happens, the world. And then you're like, okay, well, I need to have faith in my story. This is going to be my story. It's like, well, is your story that you're just going to be the creature who gets eaten up and dies? Or is your story going to be where you find a way to survive and not get eaten and not... What is your story this time? What are you going to make it be this time? What do you want your story to be? Are you going to just give up? And I just watched a video on a parachute where the guy's first parachute failed. You give up and go, oh my God, my parachute failed. Or do you employ the second parachute? And what if the second parachute fails? I mean, like just the concept of, do you find a way of surviving? Okay, so there's all that. So there's those tools. But what I did to calm down in the anxiety is allowing oneself to relax and recognize that even if the universe isn't necessarily out there to help you, if you look at the universe, you can look at the universe and look at all the things and see how it's betrayed you. You could do that. And you'll find, if that's what you go looking for, you'll find proof of all the ways the universe has betrayed you or hurt you or not helped you. But you could also look at all the ways, maybe not the way that the universe is there for you, because you don't believe that, but that has provided some comfort in some way. It's a little bit easier to do this outside, because when you're outside, you can connect to the vastness and the bigness of the universe and the gentle breeze that caresses you. And I was thinking how much harder this is when you're inside and you don't have that gentle caress of the breeze of the universe reassuring you that it's there, loving you, and connecting to the love of the universe. It's a little bit harder to connect to the love of the universe when you're inside, because when you're outside, you can just put your head up and feel the sun's rays, or you can go lay on the grass or the ground and feel the comfort of Mother Earth. And I highly recommend it. If you have a chance, if you're feeling anxious, go outside. And instead of feeling the overstimulation of the world, Just go up and feel the warmth of the sun, or even the moonlight, the warmth of the sun through the moonlight, and just bask in the moonlight or bask in the sunlight. And if there isn't a moon out and it's cloudy, just open yourself up to the feeling of the world around you, of just the vastness of the beauty of the universe and the world and the stars, or the no stars, the clouds, and just expanding your consciousness out and letting your consciousness expand out to awareness of the entire world. And that's actually really rather soothing, because the more aware you are of the world, the more you're able to connect. But what if you're inside and you're not able to do that, and you're, for some reason, you're bedridden and can't go outdoors? You can still allow yourself to relax into the bed and allow yourself awareness of the feeling of maybe the people around you, in the room around you, or in the building around you, the other consciousnesses, or yourself in the room, and just be aware of just awareness, allowing. And that was the big thing that helped me calm down, was the reminder of allowing, letting the tension in my spinal cord, I'm all tensed up and anxious and panicked, and just allowing a release. And having a faith in the allowing the new experiences. The world order isn't the way you wanted it to be, but allowing whatever this new experience is, whatever you're going through, to occur, and allowing so that you can relax into it. And as you relax into it, you start having awareness of maybe things that you can do. Maybe the first thing that you can do is allowing yourself to relax. That's something, that's the first step that's in your control, is the allowing. And then once you get allowing, and your body relaxes, and your back relaxes, and your spinal cord relaxes, and your neck relaxes, as you relax each tension, then you realize that you have things that you can do. But what if you can't figure out how to relax? Because that happens too. There's times where you're just like, I can't relax. I can't figure out how to get myself to relax. So here is a Soma technique that will help you deal with that. Well, if you can't relax, then tense up. Allow yourself to tense up. Allow yourself to really tense up. Really tense up that muscle. Like, really clench it. And I mean clench it as hard as you can so it hurts so much, and you just clench it, clench it, clench it. But guess what happens to muscles that you're clenching non-stop? Really tight. Just really tighten it. I mean, not just tension where your muscles are locked up, where you're locked up, but actually tighten it even more. And what will trigger is that your body, your muscles, will actually get tired. And they can't hold that really tight, as hard as you can. It will eventually, if you tighten it, it will actually relax, because it eventually fatigues. So when it finally allows it to fatigue, allow it to fatigue, and then relax. You have permission to relax the muscles. It's okay. It's okay. Allow, and even just start to appreciate recognition. You are alive. you are alive. Maybe you're dying. We're all dying. Maybe you're dying in 3 days. Maybe you're dying in 3 months. Maybe you're dying tomorrow. That's irrelevant. What happens in 5 minutes, what happens tomorrow, what happens in the future, you don't, even if you do know, what you do know right this second, especially if you're listening to this, but even if after you're done listening to this and you have a moment outside of this where you're feeling anxious, you have that moment where you are alive and have awareness and have consciousness. Maybe you're dead, but you still have consciousness and you still have awareness. You still have awareness. You still have consciousness. As long as you have awareness, as long as you have consciousness, you have the ability to allow. And that's the first step. Allow yourself to be tense up. Allow yourself to relax. Your muscles to be tired and relax. You have the ability to allow. If you have faith in something, you can allow yourself to have faith in it. If you don't have faith in anything, you can have faith or allow yourself to just have the world as it is. That's the first step of something you can do, is allowing. And then as you allow, you open yourself up to what are possibilities. What else can you allow yourself to do? And if you're a violent person, you might come up with all these violent ideas. And yeah, you could allow yourself to do that, but then that'll have negative consequences. So keep opening your mind up more to other ideas beyond the negative ones. What are some positive things that you can do? And just let your mind float and allowing. If you feel like doing a yawn, do a yawn. Allow yourself to relax and be open to ideas, positive ideas that you might be able to do. And just allow yourself to be depressed and confused for a minute. Allowing that state of mind. Not necessarily acting on the negative state, but just allowing yourself to sit and feel. Feel the confusion. Feel the anger. Feel the frustration. Feel the happiness. Feel the joy. Feel the celebration. Just let yourself go through a myriad of feelings until that time where you can get yourself feeling centered and balanced. And don't act. Don't act on your feelings until you've gotten yourself to a state of feeling centered and balanced. If there's anything in your spinal cord, kind of gently move the spinal cord and oxygen to it, wherever the tension is held, in your neck, your shoulders. something I enjoy doing is putting a pillow underneath my back and between my hips. We will be there in a little bit to go help her. The food is next to her table, but we'll be there in a little bit to go help her. Okay. We'll take care of her. We'll take care of her in a little bit, okay? No, we've got it. Thank you. I suppose that's our cue that we need to head out. If you're still here with us, allow yourself to maybe do a couple of owns. I'll take it, but first off, let's do the breath thing. We're going to take a breath in, and we're going to hold it. And when you're done holding it, you're going to slowly release out. Padme, Padme, Hum.